Good morning and welcome to Worthington Home. I'm headed out to a very fun place with Eric. We're going to Elephant's Trunk Flea Market in New Milford. We haven't been in over a year. The weather is gorgeous. It's a perfect day, so let's see what they have.
Okay, time to go outside and walk into this beautiful day. Check it out. The sky is blue. It's nice and warm. Even the flowers look happy. It's just a perfect day for an outdoor flea market. So we're off. We're driving to New Milford, Connecticut, which is about an hour away from us. And we're stopping for a little Dunkin' Donuts to keep our energy high. And here's the sign to the flea market. This parking lot can get very crowded, and sometimes parking requires some patience and creativity. But actually, I can already see the parking lot is not as full as it usually is. So we'll find our bumpy spot and we'll get in line. And even the line is not too bad today. Sometimes you have to wait for a while in order to get in, but this isn't bad at all. And you can see the prices of entry. So we only paid $3 per person to get in, which is very reasonable if you ask me. Okay, here's our first glimpse at the market. I'm trying to give you the lay of the land a little bit, especially to give you a sense of the spaciousness of it. There are vendors that are selling plants, antiques, textiles, some new things, mostly old things, a wide variation. This is a very pretty candle cover. And there's some Asian themed pieces on this table that are very pretty. That lampshade is quite unusual. And the covered box is nice. I always love that first glimpse as you walk into the market to see what everybody has. Here's a large display of metal signs. And that's an interesting advertising piece and very pretty bowls. This table's very intriguing. This is new merchandise. I love that bag. And check out the slippers and the little baskets. The boots are fantastic. I need to get a better look at the maker of all of these things because I really like them. You check out the label on this fabulous woven bag. And it is Near and Far. Great vendor. Here's another really nice bag. I like that, very summery, little bit bohemian. This bowl with the crab on it is so super different. It looks like it was made in Denmark. No price on this, but it's very unique. I see some toll trays. I'm gonna try to give you a better look because I know we have a lot of toll tray collectors amongst the viewers. I'm a big fan myself. These don't have prices, but they're really nice. I like this one especially. I'll carefully put them back where they were. And here is a whole display of artwork. They have a little something for everyone here. And this photograph of a little boy is so sweet, although I'm not sure how happy he's feeling. These copper molds are really cool. This one reminds me of my kitties. All you need is love and a dog and 2 cats and another dog and some chickens. And then I agree. This is pretty. It seems like that's Nippon. No, hand painted, made in Japan, so maybe a little bit later. That's a really pretty piece. I wonder if it had a top. This is a very nice display. I like everything on this table. Another really pretty toll tray, but that one's wood. And some other painted pieces. And of course, I see some promising glimpses of porcelain and also some very pretty glass. So I'm looking through this table with a lot of care. This is a pretty little candlestick, just a singleton. Not a lot of prices here. I love love the pink mixed in with the white. And this looks like Limoges. Yep, made in France. And this one looks like that as well. I like the mirrored tray down here, and the little Cupid candlestick stand is nice. We have a little bit more Limoges. This table is definitely my cup of tea, pun intended. Here we have some interesting artwork, 125 on that lithograph, and some clipper ships and birds. This booth is really unique. Check out these little teacups that are arranged into like a little display. I want to find out a little bit more about this. It's very eye-catching. Small staked teacup feeders, $10. So little bird feeders. And these are also hanging bird feeders. I love the clear and green one especially. What a unique idea and a great way to repurpose some old glassware.
Colors and things.
These are stunning as well. $20 each for these. And here's the business card of the owner in case you're interested in finding out more. I'm trying to get it to focus. Oh, these are lovely. Oh my gosh, so creative. This is still the same booth with the little cardinal on the handle. Wow, lots of pieces. $30 for those. And here we have a really old Victrola. And these little teapots are cute. They look like little English cottages. And I'm just going to give you a little look around.
Forget the flag.
These glasses look hand painted. They're very pretty. Here's an old beer advertising sign. We have a similar one in our barn in an old atomizer.
Yeah.
Little doll set that's cute. And we're stopping at a little bakery stand. They have all kinds of amazing things. I think I'm gonna get a scone. Eric will probably get a croissant. But everything looks amazing. Here's a covered refrigerator dish. Those come in handy. I have quite a few of those that I use myself. There's lots of other really fun glassware and some Pyrex mixing bowls. I love those old revolving library bookshelves. That one's a little bit damaged, and I like that brass bird cage too. This reminds me of Iris, if Iris ever sat still. Here's an interesting collection of old photographs. I find them to be absolutely riveting to check out. Here's an old wagon seat for $20. This is a great brass tray. I think it has a hunting scene on it. No price, which is kind of getting on my nerves. But it looks like it has a lot of cool detail to it. Here's another tool tray. I like the black ones a little better than the white ones, if I'm honest. This pink glass is very pretty, and so are these. Strega, I think they say. No price. There are very few prices here. And those cactus margarita glasses are fun, and this looks like a Lenox cake plate. And it is. These mirrored trays are very pretty. I like these little boat scenes. And this is an interesting drinks display with a covered lid. Eric was tempted by this, but there was no price and he didn't feel like asking. Here we have some Pyrex and some other glass pieces. I love this quilt. It's so pretty. Look at all of the detail. It reminds me a little bit of the crazy quilt that I did no favors for. Here's some old garden furniture. Very elaborate. That little table and chair set is marked down. Let's see what the price is. Sale, $65 for the set. That's not bad. Here we have some pretty dishes. Let me see if I can get a better sense of this. AA, don't know that. They're pretty. This teacup is beautiful. That's a little Wedgwood teacup. I like the flowers in it. I really like all of those pretty spice jars. This is a great plate with the bird. That's a Wedgwood piece. Sorry, it's blurry, but that is Wedgwood. And this is so sweet. Royal Albert. Really nice. I wonder if this dealer will do a bundle deal. Those little Dutch ovens are so pretty. They're from Holland. $35 on those. I have a yellow one on my eBay store right now. And a little Irish blessing. I bet that's Belique. $10 on that plate. Here's a table full of really pretty Pyrex, including those Cinderella nesting bowls and some pieces with lids that you don't often see. But I'm going right around those because I found something very interesting. Here is some Hall's pottery from the 1940s, and it matches the mixing bowls that I already have. So I'm showing those to Eric. I'm very tempted. And here's just a look at the crowd in the market. It's starting to get busier as the afternoon goes on. You can see people pulling carts and carriages and things behind them with their purchases. Some cool old advertising pieces here. I really like this toll tray table. I want to give you a better look at it. That's a really great piece. Something like that would look really nice in my parlor, but right now my parlor is so full of stuff for the next estate sale, I can't even see the floor. Here's a pretty collection of creamers. Very nice. Just going back to look at this piece.
I bet that looked really beautiful.
Really pretty. I like the yellow. It's so cheerful. Iris would really enjoy breaking those, I think.
And she will go greatly out of
And
her
some
way
birds and fruits and other fun things on this table. And I like this very pretty photograph paperweight. We have a few of those. These are gorgeous. A little bit of Limoges there. A little bit of Limoges here. This is my kind of table. This is very pretty. I love the butterfly, and I like the gold details. The dragonfly is nice. Let's see who the maker is on this piece. I. Godinger & Co. They make some really pretty things. That's sweet. I tried to make a deal for this grouping, but we couldn't come to a good price point. Here is a huge stack of Corningware. Wow, the whole table is full of it. I don't usually see so much all together. I'm going to see if I can show you a few of the prices, just in case you're curious. $28 on that one. And $48 on that one. I have these in my store right now. I don't have the metal tray. Mine are for cheaper prices, but then you have to factor in shipping, so it's probably about the same in the end. This blanket is gorgeous. I wish it had a price on it. I couldn't find one, but it's lovely. And this is like a woven rug of some kind. It is gorgeous. Also, no price, so I apologize, but look at all the craftsmanship on this piece. Interesting chair. I like this booth a lot. This looks like Limoges, $30 on this covered dish. Let's check and see if that's the case. And it is Limoges, France. That's a Haviland piece. Put the cover carefully back. This set of china is very pretty, and there's quite a few pieces here. And I appreciate that this dealer has priced out some things. I like this dish as well. And here we have some glassware.
I love your table. Thank you. So pretty.
A little bit of Lenox.
It is.
This is a Lenox piece. No price.
You're kidding. No. Oh,
This little pink vase is also really charming.
I was gonna say what?
This is so cool. It's like a plastic play school mat. So you can put all of your little toys on it and pretend your little people are at like an amusement park. I would have loved that as a kid. And here's another table with some really fun porcelain on it. It's a covered cheese dish. And this is Limoges, $25. This one is $20. Very pretty. And these are some other gorgeous Limoges pieces. Lots of Limoges today, $25. And the covered piece is also Limoges. And this platter is Limoges. It is incredibly heavy. I like this little piece too. Yeah, it's got some damage on it, but it's very pretty. Here's a nice collection of mixing bowls and some more Pyrex. And we have some more porcelain. There's also lots of jewelry here today. I'm not usually someone who goes through a lot of jewelry, but they had some nice pieces. And there's Eric making a beeline for the car because boy, has it gotten warm out here. And it's time to gradually make our way out of the parking lot. Goodbye, Elephant's Trunk. We had a great time. We'll be back soon.
Great. Thank you.
We made a little pit stop in Southington, Connecticut for lunch. Eric is loving his mussels. And we are at Ideal Tavern. It is really good and we will definitely come back. And now we're heading home. What a great day.
So I'm so excited to show you everything I got at Elephant's Trunk. First, just a little bit of commentary about Elephant's Trunk. We hadn't been in over a year because I had broken my leg last summer. So it'd been such a long time. It was so nice to be back. It was very not crowded, which surprised us. Usually it is jammed with people. So that made filming a lot easier and I could show you a lot more than I normally could if it was as busy and bustling as ever. My only thought about why it wasn't as busy as usual is that we were there a little bit earlier than usual. So maybe that accounted for it. And there weren't as many dealers as we often see. I mean, there were a lot of dealers, but there weren't as many. Usually the field is completely jammed. And we were wondering if that's because it's not that far away from Brimfield. Brimfield was only like 2 weeks or so ago. So you're wondering if maybe some dealers are just recovering from their long week. I don't know, but it was different from usual in that it was just fewer people, fewer dealers, which made for actually, a nice experience. And we weren't like being carried away by the crowd because sometimes it can be, a little bit intense with all the people. So that was nice. And because it's still June, it wasn't as crazy hot as it can get because Elephant's Trunk has very little shade cover. So you can get rather toasty at Elephant's Trunk if you're not really careful. So I always make sure I put on a ton of sunscreen. I usually wear a huge brimmed hat. I didn't this time, but I usually do because the sun wasn't quite that intense, but I usually bring a huge brimmed hat and you duck behind and underneath the tree every chance you get to get a little bit of relief. Some of the dealers have like tents or like other kind of coverings that at least get you out of the like beating sun, but it can get toasty there. And we were really lucky from a weather perspective. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold, and best of all, given our current streak of bad luck, it wasn't raining. So the other thing I want to mention about Elephant's Trunk is it's kind of a different market every time you go. So we've gone sometimes and we've bought nothing. We've gone sometimes and we've bought so much stuff we've had to go to the car or the truck multiple times. And sometimes you just, especially like right after COVID when things had been closed, it seemed like the dealers had just been collecting lots of things that they had no outlet for. So there's lots of stuff for a while there. I'd say this time it was, not the best I've ever seen, not the worst I've ever seen. It was kind of in the middle. I felt like the prices were a little on the high side for a flea market. Everything we just felt like maybe $5 or $10, a little bit more than what I wanted to pay. And my usual gripe, and I'm not going to go on about it this time. I have pledged I would not go on about it this time because you've heard enough from me about this, but the pet peeve, most things were not priced. So then you had to ask. And I have to say, there were some dealers who were ready to negotiate and were ready to like bundle and make a deal. And there were some dealers who seemed very passive and like they were waiting to see what I would propose. And then there were some items I just walked away from because I didn't feel like asking. So the usual mixed bag of pricing mayhem, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. So because there weren't prices, I can't itemize each thing I purchased. I can tell you that I spent $50 for the day. So we can divide that up however we do, but that was my total damage was $50. So enough about that. Let me show you what I bought. So I'm gonna start out with this plate that is not super exciting, but very pretty. This was made in France. I was really drawn to the gold edging and the pretty blue details on this plate. It's in really nice condition. Here's the mark on it. And yeah, I thought this was just a really nice piece. I might pop this into my Limoges china cabinet because I could use some more pieces to put at the back of the cabinet just to kind of reduce the amount of wood in the background. If it works there, then I'm gonna hang on to it. And if it doesn't, I'll pop it on my eBay store. So we'll see. Okay, next up, speaking of plates, is this very pretty plate. I really liked the bird on this, and it's Wedgwood. The pattern is Old Chelsea. And yeah, I thought this was a really pretty plate. This one is gonna go on my eBay store, and hopefully somebody will really like this. Wedgwood tends to do pretty well on my store. Okay, next up, I'm gonna show you this adorable teacup and saucer. I think they're really, really pretty. And these are also Wedgwood. And it says, what does it say? Charnwood? I don't know, I guess that's the pattern. It's really pretty. I love the colors in the flowers. I think it's really nice. Just a very pretty teacup that you could either display or use on a daily basis. And I like the gold trim on that as well. Similarly, I picked up 2 Royal Albert cup and plate sets. So let me see, I wanna make sure I don't drop them. These are them, so I'll show you one so we can get up close. It has this little round area for your teacup, so you can have your cup of tea or coffee, whatever you're having, and then you can have your little dessert on the plate. And it's all very contained and very dainty. So here's a better look at the plate. And here's the back. As I said, it's Royal Albert. And here's a better look at the inside of the teacup because it's got a little flower detail inside. I love when things are made with those kinds of details inside. And here's the bottom of the cup. And I just thought those were very pretty, very sweet. Happy to find those. Okay, so the next grouping of things that I'm going to show you are definitely for me. They're going into my own collection. So I'm gonna save my favorite for last, I think. So I bought this collection of salt and pepper shakers. These were made by Hall. Oh, you can't see the bottom. They don't have stoppers in them, which is fine because I'm actually not gonna use them for salt and pepper purposes. And if I needed to get a stopper, that would be easy enough to do. But these are in a pattern that I already have. So I'm going to show you what it is that I have. Oh, and by the way, there's actually 2 salt shakers and 1 pepper. So it was actually a group of 3. And they perfectly match the mixing bowl set. I have these nesting mixing bowls. Here they are. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. And here's the salt, just to show you that it's part of the same set. Oh my goodness, let me put those down. The nesting bowls, if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you might remember from an estate sale I went to with Eric. Gosh, it was a few months ago. It was the worst estate sale I'd ever been to because the people coordinating it had priced nothing. They would not negotiate. It was badly organized and it was definitely all kinds of frustrating. But I did buy those mixing bowls and I ended up putting them on my eBay store, even though I loved them because I don't know, I just felt this pressure to sell them. So I priced them on the high side and I had a lot of viewers, a lot of people watching, and usually that's a sign that I need to like drop my price so that one of those watchers will make a move. And I didn't, because I just didn't want to part with them. So I just kept it. I never changed it. I didn't make any offers. And I don't know. I didn't want to sell them. So I guess I was waiting until I found some more pieces that would confirm that I need to keep it. So I bought the salt and pepper shakers and some other pieces, and I have now officially taken the mixing bowls off my eBay store. So I've committed to keeping them, and I'm glad. So in the same pattern, I bought this really interesting pitcher. I love the lines on this, and the colors look so nice in our kitchen. This is in really good shape, and this has the mark on the back so you can see that this is Hall's. And I estimate that this set is probably from the 1940s. I think it could be as early as the 1930s, but my best estimation is it's from the 1940s. And then I bought this pitcher, which is a totally different shape and size, which is kind of interesting and kind of fun. So those were the pieces that I bought, and I'm going to show you how they look on my hutch. First, I need to tell you my hutch is unusually bare because we have had some iris incidents on the hutch. Some things have broken that were not easily parted with, resulting in my having taken all of the Port Merion off of it to prevent any further catastrophes. Sorry, had to go there. But I will put these on the hutch just to show you how nice they look. Then I will take them down again and put them somewhere very high or somewhere else out of reach until these cats get through this phase that they're in. I really hope this isn't the permanent state of how they are. I'm a little worried about that. We'll find out. Before I put things on the hutch, I just want to show you a close-up of the haul. Here are the salt and pepper shakers. I love like the font. Isn't that so fun? And so as I said, 2 salts and a pepper. Here's a really good look at the pitcher. And here is the other pitcher. This one has a little hole in the spout. I guess, I don't know, is this like for ice cubes, to keep the ice cubes in and the liquid pouring out? I think that's what that's for. Here is the Royal Albert teacup and plate. I haven't washed them yet, so please excuse the debris. Here's a better look at the pretty plate that I purchased, and the teacup and saucer, and then the Limoges plate. And just in case you're wondering, Iris is taking a little nap in the wrapping. She's enjoying herself very much. She thinks she's living inside a burrito. It's all good. I do like the way this plate looks in my little Limoges china cabinet, so I do think I'm gonna keep it here. It's just a really nice piece that will go with everything, even though I'm trying to focus on pink and white flowers. I think the blue still works and the white and the gold, so I think this is gonna be a nice display piece that will work well in my collection, so I think I'm gonna keep that one. Nice little piece. So I thought I would show you how cute this little collection looks on the hutch. I didn't spend too much time finagling it because, as I've said, it's not going to stay here. I know it won't make it, but I think these pieces are really fun. I'm happy to have them. And I think what I'm actually going to do is put them, want to spin. I'm going to put them up here on our little secretary. That gap is where I had the mixing bowls. And so I think I'll put all the pieces there. Actually, let me do that now and I can show you what it looks like. So here they are, very far away from the cats. Look at that drop. Yeah, even if they jump on this little wooden piece, which they do, they're not going to go straight up that high, especially when there's nothing to really land on. So I think this is safe, and I think they look really pretty here. And it's fun. A little bit of 1940s nostalgia for my colonial era kitchen. The nap in the packaging continued. You would think she was on like the softest feather bed and not a bunch of bubble wrap and tissue paper. But she seems very happy, so I will leave her be. It's so hard to imagine that this sweet sleeping kitty is capable of damaging so much of my breakable porcelain. Who would ever know? So anyway, just a few little things, but I think they're really fun. I'm glad I found them. And if you ever find yourself with some spare time, even if you're not in close proximity to Elephant's Trunk, it's an hour's drive from me, but there are a lot of people that drive in from New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. People drive from all over because it's a really fun day. I didn't mention there are always really good food trucks there, and there's lots and lots of porta potties, which I know is icky, but they keep them really clean. So, you know, all of your basic necessities can be taken care of when you go to the Elephant's Trunk. Parking can be tricky, but you know, if you just park way in the back and just commit yourself to walking, you'll be fine. And as I said, just be aware of the elements. Bring water with you. There's also water for sale, but bring water with you because sometimes you don't want to stop what you're doing and hydrate, and it can be hot. And it's great if you can bring like a backpack or something, like something to carry your purchases in. Some people bring like rolling carts and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, you can do whatever works for you. We do well if we each bring pretty big backpacks. That tends to work for us. And, you know, if you find stuff really big that you love and can't live without, then just take a trip to your car. You can leave and on your way out get stamped, so they let you right back in without any difficulty. So it's a fun day. Definitely check it out if you have a chance. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, will you do me a favor and please hit like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps my channel grow. And wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.